So, Pyros, the elemental legendary bird. Starts out as a 2/2, it dies, it goes back to your hand as a 6/6 for 6. Play
Mm-hmm.
that, it dies, it goes back to your hand for a 10 mana 10/10.
Like the Phoenix.
On the surface, this card is fucking bad. It is.
All right, we need to clarify. When we say bad, do we
Okay,
mean bad, or do we mean badass bad?
okay. When I say bad, I mean just from the value you're getting from it, it kind of looks bad until you realize, look, you're most likely going to have a lot of spells in your deck, which means you're going to be lacking in minions. Well, this is kind of taking care of that to some degree. It's giving you, if you play it on curve, boom, you got your 2/2, and now you're guaranteed to have at least a 6-drop minion on 6, which is not always the easiest thing to do. And with Sylvanas rotating out of constructed play, well, you needed a new option, and here you go. And Azure Drake's gone too, so no fun shenanigans there. So on that aspect, it does redeem itself quite a bit. But then you get to its top end, a 10 mana, 10/10. I can think of way better things I'd rather be doing at 10 mana as a
10
mage.
mana.
Yeah, than playing a 10/10 that basically dies to a fucking hex. Yeah, no, fuck off.
Fair enough.
But it does actually add a little bit more girth to a 30-card deck without adding more cards to a 30-card deck. So I like it for that. All right.
I'm just kind of happy that Confessor Paletress is rotating out.
Oh, thank God, yes.
Because this just weekend. Like, I hate whenever they're released frigate or past legendaries. I'm like, really?
Yeah, there's nothing more painful than you set yourself up for a turn 9 play with Paletress, and you get
Shifter Xerus.
Shifter Xerus or Blood Mage Thalnos. Those are like the most
like even ones. Blood Mage I can understand, but Shifter
and let's not forget you can also get patches too.
Exactly. This is what I'm talking about. Like, Jesus.
I mean, 3 whiffs in a sea of awesome, and yet I hit all 3 of them in one game.
Horrible.
I know, it's tragic as fuck. Alright, so to the quest. Open the Waygates. Cast 6 spells that didn't start in your deck. So obviously we're talking about Babbling Books, we're talking about Kabbalah's Tome synergies and things of that nature. Mana Bind, definitely going to be a source of that.
Primordial
Glyph. And Primordial Glyph is going to be a huge part of that.
I think every mage deck is going to run Primordial Glyph.
Oh,
Insta auto include.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know, it's basically Babbling Book without the legs, and I get a discount. Yes, please. Are you kidding me? Oh,
like a lot of the mage
cards. Flame Strike that I can play for 5 mana. Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna do that all day long.
And I think definitely a lot of the outside of your deck spell cards are just like auto include in mage. It doesn't even matter if you're trying to play a mage deck for the quest. The cards are just that damn good for the class in general that they're just auto include.
You know what's going to happen? There's going to be a tournament, and Pablo's going to play Babbling Book, and he's going to pull Primordial Glyph. He's going to play that, and then pull the fucking Polymorph from that, and it's only going to cost him 2 mana. And everybody's going to be like, oh my god, face melts.
They're going to lose their shit.
Oh my, yeah, they will lose their shit. Fucking Amnesiac's going to go shitpost all over Twitter again. It'd be great. Great times.
Fast times at Richmond High.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah. I honestly think this quest is pretty easy to get done if the deck is set up and optimized for it. The deck that they showed us didn't feel overly that optimized, to be perfectly honest with you.
Okay.
I didn't think it was. Now, what is the Waygate? Because that's what, or I mean, what is the Time Warp effect? Okay, so when you play the Time Warp, you get to take another turn. Now, the one thing that I really looked at, and I'd like to thank Disguised Toast for kind of really pointing this, as well as Reels, who, when he was playing it, because he showed one copy of it, was Arcane Giant. That suddenly blew my mind. I was like, oh my god, Arcane Giant makes sense in this. Every spell you cast reduces it when you play it, so you could get to a situation where you could play down these Arcane Giants for free, play down and probably play out a spell, and then play down the Time Warp, go to the next turn, play down another damage spell, and then smash 16 to the face. That's a huge chunk of damage that Mage just got. This is like the new Mage burst damage combo. Alright, they're taking away a lot of the mechanics that made Freeze Mage viable, and they're making it more board-centric.
True.
Because you ask, like, any shaman, how bad did it feel going up against Freeze Mage, and they just give you, like, the evilest of eyes. Like, my taunts didn't do shit. They cry.
They deserve it.
Yes. But Ice Lance is rotating out, so that's going to kind of really fuck Mage in that burst potential. So they had to make up for it in some way or another. And here's a really good possibility for that. I think it's a pretty decent card.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's get to the next card. Meteor. Deal 15 damage to a minion and 3 damage to the ones adjacent to it. It's like, oh, hey, you got one of those big-ass new minions. Fuck you. And the guy next to him.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it's like, fuck you and your friend.
Something there's rotating out. What's it? Flame Lance? What set was?
Yeah.
The one that does 8 damage. That one.
Yeah, the one that nobody played.
But they got it all the time off Kabbalist too.
Oh my god, and it always saved their ass. You ever notice that? It's like, oh my god, I didn't have anything for the Ragnaros my opponent played. Thank god I got this thing.
Exactly.
That shit happened so often it wasn't even funny. Okay, I kind of like this card, but this feels more like a tech card that you put in for tournament play than anything else.
I mean, it definitely depends on how you read the meta, because, I mean, it's one of those very specific things. You're holding on to this to kill something very specific that you know is coming.
Okay,
so,
let's be honest with it. This is pretty much says, fuck you, Druid.
Well, I mean, it doesn't work on Tyrannitus.
Okay, it doesn't work on Tyrannitus, and I'll give you that. But you know what does work on Tyrannitus? Just freezing the fuck out of him with AoEs.
This is true. You could always time warp a Doomsayer.
Yes, you can.
It's a very expensive board clear, but desperate times call for desperate.
Yep, you're absolutely right on that. So, but it kills things like Malagos, it kills Ysera's, it kills a lot of the big health minions that could really cause you havoc. So I like it for that. I really do. Now, if it had a little bit of extra text, can target stealth, this card would be broken as fuck. Oh, you have an Edwin. Fuck you.
Yep. No conceal for you.
No, wait, that's right. Conceal is gone too. So, Edwin, you're screwed now. Even more so.
Gonna take it.
Oh, yes, he is. All right. So, kind of cool. Primordial Glyph, we already kind of talked about that one. This card is going to be pretty much like the go-to card for mages in every single construction moving forward. It's low cost and the reduction. It's just too damn good.
Yep, remember the days of Unstable Portal?
Yeah, I mean, check this out, alright? I want you to think about this. You can Primordial Glyph on 3, get an Arcane Intellect, and get another 2 card draws for 1 more mana. That is huge cycling value. You know? It's like, well, hey, use this to basically draw more from outside my deck to draw more inside my deck. Okay, cool. Makes sense.
It's the card that keeps on giving.
It really does keep on giving. Really, really does. And if you're also playing with Sorcerer's Apprentice, this is now 1 mana. And that card you just drew is now 0 mana. If it was that Arcane Intellect, would have been free. So there's the other 3 mana play. God, doesn't it suck that fucking Flamewaker is gone?
For good reason.
Yes, thank God. Oh my god, you could do so many cool shenanigans with that, but...
I crafted those golden.
You dumb bastard.
Struggle is real.
It is. Alright, so moving on, we got the Steam Surger Battlecry. If you played an element last turn, add a Flame Geyser to your hand. Now, Flame Geyser is the only actual direct damage spell that they introduced. I totally forgot about this one. And I'd like to point something else out here. Technically, that Flame Geyser that you're getting did not originate in your deck.
Yep.
So it would play to the quest.
Quest, yep.
All right, so this is what makes me think, if you're going to do a Mage quest deck, you're going to have to incorporate the...
Elementals.
Yeah, you're going to have to do it, because, in all honesty, this is going to be a very board-centric meta. All right? The spell-heavy meta is kind of fading out real fucking quick. So you're going to need to get some sort of minion based in there. And the elemental synergies seem pretty damn good. And, yeah, there's lots of things you could use to combo with this quite easily. Hell, even just taking copies of Flame Geyser will help you with that. Because that the effect of it gives you a 1-cost elemental you can play the next turn before you play this. So, makes perfect sense to me.
I concur.
Yeah, makes perfect sense.
You might as well just split the deck 50-50 between questing And then a win condition surrounded by
Cabals and
elementals.
stuff that bring stuff from outside design. Yeah. That's kind of what I was feeling too. Alright, so moving on to the next one. You have Molten Reflection. 4 mana, choose a friendly minion, summon a copy of it. Wow, they literally took Faceless Manipulator and made it a spell.
Spell card, yep.
Right, and it's cheaper. This pretty much just says I don't need a Faceless Manipulator. Ever. And because it's a spell, you know, you can combo it with, say, what's its name? Mana Worm. Get some value out of it.
Or Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Though here's a question. Here's a turn 10 play. You play down Gadgetzan Auctioneer and you play Molten Reflection. Do you get 2 card draws?
It depends on the order, and I guess you know how Blizzard is tricky with that stuff.
Yeah, but some of their order doesn't make sense sometimes. So
because I mean definitely because we've seen enough issues between whether Digin and Entomb or some other crap and Digin, like
yeah. So,
but that's an interesting thought.
Yeah, it is an interesting thought. Nobody would ever do it, but, you know, it's kind of cool. And again, it kind of makes sense that they're rotating out Ragnaros and Sylvanas because those would have definitely been the ones that people would always use these for.
My poor Raggy.
Yeah, and the fact that you can use Primordial Glyph to get this and it only costs 2 mana at that point is kind of scary. That would have made the turn 10 play Rag and then double down on it and have 2 Ragnaroses on the board. Of viability. It really would have.
Very, very much so.
Yeah. But, yeah. Another cool thing I thought of with this is you can actually... And it goes back to that whole thing that I was talking about earlier involving the Gadgetzan Auctioneers, is if you get the reduction on this because you pulled it with, say, a Primordial Glyph, and you have, say, Archmage Antonidas in your deck, so here on turn 9 you play Antonidas, and you play... the Molten Reflection, do you get 2 fireballs off that? Yeah, you see?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, there's some possibilities there. That's something I'm definitely going to try. It's going to be hard to fucking get it, but I'm going to try to do it.
That should be interesting.
Yeah, I
mean, you have the Antonidas, you copy the
testing.
Antonidas. So then, no, because the spell resolves before it finished casting, so you should get the fireball before you get the second Antonidas out.
You would think, but you never know. They like to put those things in there to make it kind of an interesting thing.
Testing is required.
Oh, we're going to test this, dude. We're going to test this. This is going to be about a 3-hour test, but we will get it and we'll record it. Alright, moving on, we've got the Mana Blind Secret. When your opponent casts a spell, add a copy to your hand that costs 0. This
Auto include.
Yeah, I'm going to say this is probably going to be one of the best spells you could ever fucking play.
There's no way that this doesn't get you value. Even if they have to test for the spell with the coin, you get a fucking coin.
And again, if you're playing with things like Antonidas, a coin is huge value.
Exactly.
Huge
like
value.
I feel like this is like better. This is in the last set, the polymorph potion I thought was like the best secret, hands down.
God no.
This definitely better.
God no. That secret was trash. But I definitely think this is a really powerful secret. Though you know people are gonna try to get around it. They'll use like a backstab, or they'll use
no matter what you use, you're giving them a card. This is like Lore Walker throw shenanigans, but you can't do shit about it. You have to give it up.
This is true. This is absolutely true.
That's what makes it so good. Like you try to flare, they get a flare. You try to backstab something to throw
actually, I don't think you get the flare. I think the flare actually counteracts this before it goes off.
When you flare for a counter spell, does the counter spell not stop the...
Nope.
You sure about this?
Yep.
Because I could have sworn...
Nope.
Because I mean, it's a spell card. You're casting a spell.
Yes,
so once you cast a
counters
spell...
secrets. So it acts before the secret.
Interesting.
I know, we haven't played with Flare in like a year and a half, but...
I know, right?
It does. It does. Alright, so... We already talked about the Flame Geyser. It's actually a pretty interesting spell. The fact that we can get multiple copies of it through Steam Surger is a very interesting mechanic. Really good thing that Emperor Thurazan is going out of the fucking mix, because you know what would end up happening. You'd get this, a couple of these in your hand, you'd throw down the Emperor Thurazan, long as you had the Malagos in your hand, and next thing you know, boom, you get some value reduction on them.
Malagos, Antonidas value.
Oh, yeah. Malagos and Antonidas would have huge values with these cards. Thank God. Thank God. All right. Arcanologist. This was actually a term like me and Nox kind of were fooling around with when we were doing the Mechatorx Workshop stuff. And, yeah, this was a... We pretty much just like spitballed this name out of some stuff we saw on a World of Warcraft lore page, and this is what we came up with.
Archaeologist. Draw a secret from your...
It was actually Nox was like, what if there was like an archaeologist that dealt with like arcane shit only? I'm like, okay, how the fuck does that work? It's like an archaeologist. I'm like, dude, that actually sounds legit. Let's do that. and it was a totally different card than what they have here, but the name still. 2 mana, 2/3 Battlecry. Draw a secret from your deck. For a 2-drop, this is not bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's solid stat line for a 2-drop, typical 2/3 stat line, and it's not as broken as Mad Scientist, because you just draw the secret from your deck. So it's deck thinning, but it's balanced because it goes to your hand. You still have to pay the mana cost, technically, because you could technically Cabal Lucky, but the synergy is there. Yeah. And I feel it's a fair card.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely a fair card. All right, and moving on to the last card for the Mage is the Shimmering Tempest. 2 mana, 2/1 Death Rattle. Add a random Mage spell to your hand. Okay, so let's do a quick little count just what we're getting in this expansion.
Yes, you know, Mage. Here
okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4 different methodologies of adding
cards from outside your deck.
Exactly, built into the set. Not to mention you have Kabbalah's Tome and you have the Babbling Book. That's now giving you 6 possibilities of doing this. All in all, I'm going to say this right now. Time Warp feels like a really strong reality for a really good control deck player.
Also, not to mention, coin counts.
Yes, it does.
And keep in mind that Burgling Bully is still in the game.
That is true. That is true. Burgling Bully is still in the game. Good pickup. All right. So let's go to, as you like to call it, Paladin. Or how do you say this?
Paladin.
It always sounds so different when I say Paladin to how you do it. I don't know. It always just kind of makes me laugh.
Paladin.
Play dead. That's how it was a few metas ago. Play dead.
Paladin is never dead because there's always Healadin.
Oh, fuck that deck. That deck used to make so many people rage. It wasn't even funny. All right.
I was legit hoping for something heal related in this fucking expansion, but
and instead you gotta fucking turn a Silverhand Recruit into a fucking Pyroblast.
Pretty much.
Alright, so let's start off with the legendary. Sunkeeper Terrim. 6 mana for a 3/7 taunt battlecry. Set all minions attack to attack and health 2/3.
2/3, yep.
So hey, Druids 10 mana 12/12. Go fuck yourself.
This I will definitely include in my Healadin deck because it's heavy control and this is a really good control card, and it replaces what's his name? Damn it. The card that turned everything into 1 attack minions.
Edric the Pure.
Yes, Edric the Pure.
Yeah. I like this card. It definitely screams heavy control paladin, which if you look at the quest, it doesn't seem to really fit that too much, but some people like to watch the world burn and will do their own fucking thing. And considering paladins have one of the best combo clears in the game, and they have 2 different ways of going about it, I'm going to say this card is going to be a welcome addition to it. I mean, they're losing Sylvanas, which was actually in those decks. So adding this to it could be really good. Adding pretty much anything else on top of it's going to add a lot of value. So moving on here, we've got...
And it's a decent mana cost. It's only 6.
Yeah. We've got the quest, the last
Kaleidosaur.
The last big-ass fucking dinosaur. There we go. That's what I'm going to call it.
Just think kaleidoscope and then just add Sar to the end of it.
Don't judge me. Alright. So, cast 6 spells on your minions. Reward, you get Galvadon. Galvadon is a 5 mana, 5/5 dinosaur. Yes, I know it's not an 8/8, but it gets to adapt itself 5 times. And yes, if you play it with Bronzebeard in Wild...
In Wild, emphasis on the Wild.
Yes, that's something Toast did not mention in his video. Bad Julian.
We see you, Toast. We see you.
Bad Julian. Alright. You'll get 10. Alright, and this basically leads to some crazy scenarios. Even still with 5, that leads to some crazy scenarios. As long as you get Wind Fury, Stealth, and Divine Shield, this card is fucking damn near untouchable.
Yeah, that's like 3 out of 5. Those are good odds.
Exactly. And then all you need is cannot be targeted by a spell at that point. Right? If you get that, you'd be great. Because then the next turn, oh, I'm just going to drop Blessing of Might. Hey, I have 18 damage going to the face. Have a nice day. Oh, not Blessing of Might, Blessing of Kings. And that'll probably leave you enough left over to play the Blessing of Might. So you're talking +7 on top of 5. That's 12. That's 24 damage right there. Easy peasy. So, yeah, that's a scary burst combo right there that people are just going to cringe when they see it. But it might seem a little difficult to pull that off until you get to one of the other cards we're going to talk about here in a second, after we talk about Dino Size. 8 mana, turn pretty much anything into a 10/10.
This will never see play. Why would I run this instead of just running like Lay on Hands or something? Like, I don't see the point.
I don't know. Maybe you're going for a token-centric deck?
It's like, what am I going to do? Play Bluegill Warrior and this on turn 10?
Why would you play Bluegill Warrior when you could use Stone Tusk Boar and do it on fucking 9?
Because it's a Murloc card, so I'm thinking of Murloc synergies.
Okay, I'll give you that. But I'd still
like, yeah, I'll just run a one-off this in my Murloc deck. They'll never see it coming, right?
They'll never see it coming, right? I actually, for like a spam aggro deck, like what we were talking about with some of the Buffetin decks, this might actually work pretty damn good on those. If you can get any minion to stick, then coming on to turn 8, just slamming them in the face for 10, that could be a finisher right there. I think the card's actually got some potential. Its cost is fucking outrageous, but I mean, 10 damage.
Yeah, for what it does. I mean, hell, you can slap this on an Ardent Squire or some shit. So.
Oh yeah, putting this on Ardent Squire is just so nasty. It's not even funny. Alright. Next up, we have the Primal Fin Champion. Speaking of Murlocs, now this is a card I was talking about. We were talking about the quest here.
So good.
It is so good. 2 mana, 1/2. Death Rattle, return any spells you cast on this minion to your hand. Now, this is not going to be a card you're going to regularly play down on turn 2. Unless you got coin and can throw something on it immediately.
Question, what Murlocs are we losing? We still have Valfin Inquisitor.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was from Whispers of the Old Gods.
Well, what does it matter what the ones we're getting? This has nothing to do with that.
No, I'm just thinking with, there you go, Murloc Knight. Because I knew we were losing something.
Yeah, we are. But, I mean, there's lots of stuff we could do with this. You can give it Blessing of Might, you can give it Blessing of Strength, Blessing of Wisdom, Blessing of Kings, Holy Champion.
It's a whole lot of blessings, man.
You can give it Divine Shield.
This Murloc put all of his faith in the light.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Matter of fact, on the stream, it got so many buffs on it that it went through the monitor. Like, you couldn't see them all. Couldn't count them all.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was a bug, if they plan on fixing that. Like, they should probably just make it a scrollable menu or something.
Yeah, that'd be fun. And then when it died, it literally filled the hand up. So he got to continue getting value out of it. Because one of the biggest problems you've always had with enhancement cards like that is once you use them, you technically increase the value of the minion, but when they take care of that minion with a simple spell, you've lost that value. Now, being able to get that value back actually kind of makes it a little bit more worthwhile to do.
Guess what I am looking at right now on my screen?
I don't want
to in my Hearthstone window.
What are you looking at?
I'm looking at my 0 mana Golden Silence.
Oh my god, you're a dick. I'm just going to say that right now. You're a dick. But no, you're absolutely right. Silence is a thing. All right.
Oh god, oh my god. We could legit see Hoot Hoot come back. I'm like, dude, this just blew my mind. I'm just realizing we could actually get back Hoot Hoot.
Or you play the 4-mana variant and get a 4/3. Yeah, sure.
Fuck that. No. Hoot Hoot. Hoot Hoot is Bay. Iron Beak all forever.
There are so many people that are about to be triggered by that statement. Oh my god. Alright, so moving on. We have a weapon for Paladin. We haven't seen a decent weapon in Paladin in some time, and we're still not going to. 7 mana 4/3. I'm horrible.
I think this was an artifact left by Justicar in the jungles of Ongoro.
If by left there you mean he took a shit and this fell out, sure. Okay, 7 mana 4/3. Okay, stat wise on the weapon, not bad. Okay, I can't argue that. That's 12.
And you get a true silver +1.
Yeah, so it's 12 damage worth of value.
Technically, you still get the heals because if you count the 2 1/1s as technically tanking damage off your face, technically it's like a true silver.
Okay, so if you want to go that route, then it technically is 18 damage for 7, which is not bad.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, it's not horrible, but it's not good either.
It falls into the same category as stuff like Gladiator Longbow.
Oh yeah, it really does. It really does fall under the Gladiator Longbow section there. So I don't know if we'll see that used, but
I mean, hey, if Gorehole can get used, I think shit like this can find some fortunate use.
Oh yeah. Okay, next up we have the Spike Ridge Steed.
Yep.
It is a spell. It is 6 mana. I see a turn 8 combination. Not the greatest of combinations, but it's not bad. Give a minion plus. Yep. Give a minion +2, +6, and taunt. So congratulations, Primal Fin Champion. You just became
the real MVP.
What is that? A 3/8 taunt for 8 mana. That's not overly that spectacular.
And we both know it's not going to be a freaking 3/8 taunt on turn 6. Fuck no.
Yes, but here's the thing: when it dies,
it's going to be far more than that.
When it dies, you get a Stegodon in its place. Now, let's go and take a look at that Stegodon, because that's going to determine whether or not this card is going to be worthwhile in playing. All right. Where is the Stegodon? No, that's Galvadon. It is not actually here. They don't actually have it.
Well, it's a token, so you know how they are with tokens. They usually take some time to get them.
I don't think they showed the token itself, so I have no idea what the stat of it's going to be. But I want to say it's going to be like a 5/6, if I remember correctly, and it also has taunt. So that's actually pretty good. Turn 8, boom, puts this down. It dies. You get this card back to your hand, by the way, and you get this new 5/6 taunt in play. And if they can't get by that, you're just going to play the Spike Ridge Steed again on top of that, and then you're talking about having a 7/12 taunt. That when it dies is going to give you another 5/6. It's the never-ending taunt cycle once you get to like turn 8 and pull off that combo.
Stegodon is a 4 mana 2/6 taunt.
Oh, it's only a 4 mana 2/6?
Yep.
Okay, then that's not horribly bad, but it's not horribly good.
I mean, hey, it's a taunt.
Right, but that combination, we were able to put this back in the hand, so that would make it a 4/12. That's not bad. And when it dies, we'll get a 2/6 again. It's still
infinite value.
It's still not that bad. It's actually a little bit more realistic, but it's still not that bad.
No, like by no means would you consider this a bad card. Because I mean, like I said, you get to play this on turn 6. You would have had out the Primal Fin Champion from turn 2, blessings the shit out of it between turns 3 to 5, and then on top of that, you're not at turn 8 yet.
No, you are, because that combination is a turn 8 combination to start it with.
And no, I was talking about playing Primal from like turn 2.
Oh. No, won't happen.
Or we're not talking about just unloading and blowing your entire load only to get 0 mana silenced and have nothing to show for it.
Yeah, most likely you're not going to play Primal Fin on curve because you won't be able to protect it to get the value out of it. So I really don't see that as a viable option.
If I play this in a Murloc deck, fuck yeah, I'm playing this shit on curve.
No, you wouldn't, because you're going to lose the value.
Because it's like turn 1, you get out the 1/2 that busts for every
It
Murloc.
won't matter. It won't matter. You're not getting the value.
I don't know, man.
No, it's not good. You're not getting the value. I play enough Murloc decks. Trust me, you're not getting the value.
I'm not saying no. I'm just saying best case scenario.
Dude, that's not even a best case scenario. All right, you know what? Moving on. Moving on. Because you're wrong.
Fair enough.
4 mana, 3/4, Light Fuse Stegodon. Battlecry, adapt your Silver Hand recruits.
Ooh, that synergy with Vine Cleaver. What? So good.
Okay, so you play the Vine Cleaver. Then on turn 8, you attack something. You summon out the 2/1/1s.
The hero power.
You play Lost in the Jungle. You hero power. And you've got now 5 tokens in play. And then you use Light Fuse Stegodon to give you...
stuff.
Yeah, a bunch of 1/4s. Or wait, no, you give them all the spores. There you go. And then they AoE and you lose, and you only have 2 spores left over. You get fucked.
You could give them spores. You could give them Divine Shield. Yeah, I think those are like the only 2 good options per se.
Yeah.
+1/+1 isn't really that great.
Well, I mean, you're literally creating a board of 2/2s, so they'll need a decent size AoE. You're not going to be able to just Maelstrom Portal it out or say Phantom Knives it out without a little bit more of backup. So I mean, I guess that
it equates the same thing into getting Divine Shields.
Yeah, but we're also talking about turn 8. Do you really want to spend your entire turn 8 just doing this gimmick when you can play something like Tyrion?
Fair enough.
Yeah. It's just a bad... No. I mean, it's a cool concept, but... It's a cool concept, but... No. Alright, moving on. Hydrologist. 2 mana, 2/2 Murloc. Battlecry, discover a secret.
Don't you dare assume that Murloc's gender.
It's a bad card, dude. It's a bad card. I love Murlocs, but it's a bad card.
The only reason it's a bad card is because the secrets in Paladin suck.
They really do.
That's the only reason. If this was in any other secret-based class, it really would be a better card.
You know, this almost reminds me... This kind of says, like, hey, remember Mysterious Challenger, and then it all went to shit when you lost Avenge? Here, we're going to remind you that you no longer have that option available to you. It's like salt in the wound to a lot of players. Lost in the Jungle, we already talked about. Interesting side note with Lost in the Jungle is combinations with Knife Juggler. Alright, you can get some... Really,
I can see that.
Yeah, get some value there. But
Turn 3 play.
We're talking about the age of giant fucking body dinosaurs. How relevant is Knife Juggler going to be?
Better walk with them equalities, bruh.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. Alright. And then, of course, we get Adaption. 1 mana spell that allows you to adapt a friendly minion. Holy shit. Dude,
the combo card for all combo cards.
Check this out. So you get Tyrion in play, right? Alright. And they play out a minion. You trade Tyrion to pop his bubble and kill the minion. You play Adaption and give him that bubble back.
That's pretty cool. Or
the thing is,
you could adapt and make Tyrion poisonous.
Oh, that is
trade
true.
With the Divine Shield. And have another trade on deck that they're forced to either trade into because he has taunt, or you can initiate the trade and kill something.
That's true, too.
So that's 2 things.
Oh, yeah, it is. Oh, yeah, Mr. Druid 1212. Hi, meet Poisonous Tyrion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.